All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're having a wonderful morning. It is already a wild day, so we spent yesterday going through some very wild trade stuff, and now this morning you woke up to two big headlines. One, Scott Bessent saying that we might have to rework the deal with China or that it's not looking good. So, and then the next piece of news was that Donald Trump went to Truth Social. That's this big candle right here. And he pretty much said China is violating the agreement. So there was that. Then we had the data. All of the data was actually pretty good. It didn't really get in the way. And then now here we are. So it's already been a wild week, man. You've gone through the EU last week, and then the Moody's downgrade, and then we play this game, and now we're talking all of the section tariffs. Even then, I brought up something pretty wild last night on the watch list. I was talking about like the nuclear option, and that was one of these sections, and then literally, bro, by the time we wake up, Financial Times, Bloomberg, everybody is talking about it. So we went through a lot this week, man. I hope you guys all get that. We're now about to close it out, and it's just going to be a question of, do we get a big move with all these headlines, or are we going to melt until we get the next step? So Chattadonia should be a good time. We got about 2 minutes until the bell now. So I'm glad that you're here, and I hope your morning is great. But I'm going to be watching a few plays. Ulta, Baba, Mattel, Marvel, TM, TIL, Micron, and Boeing. All right? Those are my plays, and now I need to go to the bathroom, but this is the only time you could post plays is right now before the bell. So if you have any plays, I would throw those in the chat right now, my friends. And I was nice today. Okay, I think you guys did decent yesterday. So today, you guys are at a 12-second hard delay. There you go. So depending on Chad's performance, that delay will be increased or reduced, depending on how we vibe. That sound good? So keep that in mind. But now, 1.5, baby. Post those plays. Netflix, CRM, good morning. Sell the Pepsi 132. Watching Core Weave Z. As for the law term, Josh needs to go pee. I only have a minute. NVIDIA, big pulp. Oh, yeah, they only got commercial. Oh, yeah, I forgot, bro. Yeah, man. Oh, no, you wait till you hear that in the gym, dog. You ain't. Uh-huh. I did that for the gym people. You know that? This one, oh, they don't even know, bro. Alrighty. So, Chad, get ready. We got about 10 seconds. Good morning. Call out any news, and let's see where this takes us. Round one. Fight. All right. Yeah, we saw some small cap movers. Just watch China. Again, there's going to be there. We'll see if NVIDIA could hold up or not. You guys saw the breakdown yesterday. Again, we did actually have a lot of leaders, but that Mag 7 effect is still very real. Zscaler, that one's moving. They have earnings. Again, Elon and the White House are going to be happening today at 1:30. It's probably going to be their farewell. I think it's on Apple Music. It should be. Oh, my goodness. Bro, these Ultas are disgusting. Oh, my goodness. You sick fox. Bro, they're 480ing the Ulta options. This makes no damn sense. Yeah, bro. So good morning, but yeah, they just 480'd it. All right, well, I'm looking for some of them, but honestly, some of them out of the money. Stock's already up 13%. But yeah, they're kind of crazy. You got to wait till that levels out, but I like Ulta a lot. Again, you imagine how many times I've told you guys about, makeup slowing down, and they were the ones that did good. And even yesterday, Elf, they were able to do good without a good report. So yeah, NVIDIA's going up. Again, watch some of the small caps too. SBET, you saw that is literally up almost double from that Scully news we saw last night. And then GM, there's Ulta again. Yeah, there's Ulta dailies, but I don't know if the stock's going to move another 10%, but some people think it might. So that's it. If you take it now and it hits, you'll get rewarded. But if not, give it 30 minutes. All of those will be really cheap. Yeah, Summit had a bad one. Look at TIL. They benefited off of Summit's failure. Oh, they went down? No way. So damn, I guess they all failed. And then Pfizer, bro. I'm surprised. Pfizer, Yeah, actually, bro, Pfizer should be doing very well. Pfizer had a good drug approval today, pancreatic cancer, and it reduced deaths by 50%. Oh yeah, we sold the Constellation. Good. I thought I held that. I was like, man, that sucks. But yeah, no, we got those still. Saita. But yeah, watch out for that. Healthcare's not good. Boeing. Yeah, I mean, watch out. Because Boeing. Dude, Boeing news. Boeing was talking very good yesterday. But some of the China comments today, they don't really align. Ulta's still going. Bro, the plays went up 500% on the daily. There's no bid, but yeah, they're jacking up the spreads. So be very careful. The premiums are still nuts on there. I like it, though. But yeah, it's crazy. Pizza. Oh, yeah. I already thought it was ex-dividend for pizza. I think Intel is great for the long term in the sense of I think it's valuable and it's a good value. But I also think that Intel could do nothing for like 6 months to a year and a half, if that makes any sense. And that's really your risk when you go about pursuing that one. I'm probably going to buy more Intel towards the end of the year. Once I'm burning time. I'd rather collect premium on my cash. I don't think Intel will go crazy, but then again, that is the risk if they turn around before we're able to position more. Target dumping, yeah. And Walmart on the high. Watch Staples. You guys saw yesterday. Even GE. I'm surprised GE is doing well with everything. Yeah, Staples are in the green right now. Healthcare selling off. I think a lot of bad drug applications, but some was good. Dell's going up. You might be able to find a post-earnings play. Nvidia on the low, or AMD. GME. I'm looking at Dell right now, if there's any laggers, because Dell was pricing, and yeah, honestly, bro, if you think Dell is gonna go up more, all of the plays are washed. So again, the premium, even on next week contracts, some of the next weeks have already came up 100% from the bottom. So be cautious of the wide spreads. But yeah, if you think it's gonna continue, it's premium kill. So yeah, though they're all cheap for now. But if it ends up cucking, you'll still lose. Urban on the high, Dollar General, another staple on the high. TRI. Thomson Reuters. Yeah, Marvel too. They had bad earnings, so they've been kind of back and forth. Let's see, AMD, FBRT on the high. GII, again, a couple of smaller names moving. Hilly and VDS. All right, NVIDIA came back down. CoreWeave dumping again? Yeah, bro. That thing went up. It was at 105, then 110, and then back to 105. Yeah, Ulta was good. Palantir popping. Ulta's still holding. So are the premiums. And then SPY lower. We're down 0.5%. So keep in mind, you were down even more. This was the low of the Trump comment. So 585 on the SPY is in play. 585 like 70. Be mindful of that. So, because again, pre-market range was a lot wider. Let's check equal weight. Equal weight's down 0.5%. Everything's kind of matched up. It's that quarter point gap, though, between SPY and equal weight has existed all week. And I know the answer. Look for currencies. So anything today, if we get like a weird, like crazy sell or buy, make sure damn currency or dollar is moving. Because if it's not, it's going to be a pump fake. All right, well, you're getting to the low of the cash open, and then into the second candle of some of the other lows pre-market. GL on the high. What's that? Sunrun. Yeah, GL, Globe Life. SMR, Oklo, Zio. They had a lot of news yesterday. Yeah, you can buy fractionals on Schwab. They don't let you do it with the ETFs, but most names they let you. And then they'll always let you if you reinvest the dividends. RCL on the high and Hertz. Bet Verna. Hey, Philip Morris and then Reddit. Ulta's still holding up. Now Coca-Cola. Yeah, I'll close up 1.5. Honestly, they're not going too crazy yet. There's GME. GME below 30. Okay, MO now too. More staples, more ripping. I kind of want to see the long term. S-Bet. I've seen like 5 different smaller cap runners. Again, all week you've seen that. So see if those keep going. Qubits now. Oh yeah, I haven't even checked any of the volume. All my volume, again, it's all small caps. Like HCTI. NVIDIA actually has a lot of block trades, believe it or not. I see weird volume on Lucid. Win on the high. I haven't seen them move in a while. I still like them. Costco too. Again, they had earnings, but they're not really an earnings runner. AAP going up. They sold off their rally recently. That's barely green. Bibsy green, Habibi. Habibi. Wow. PBM unhalted. S-Bet halted. GM now too. I've seen that move a couple times. Yeah, GM starting to climb. Check the automakers. They're the only one. Remember, they had the conference yesterday and talked about guidance and buybacks. Yeah, end of the month. So again, I think bonds should be bullish. I believe. I'm pretty sure all of the rebalance coming into it, it's leaning more sell equities and then more buy bonds. Why did pizza options just go crazy? What is this? Am I tripping or is something going on with pizza? They just jacked their not 480ing, but 110 on the options. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Odd. We do have a catalyst at 10. You don't know what it is? It's your favorite. You got 20 minutes for your favorite set of data. You don't know? What we're going to do is we're going to survey 220 people in Michigan. And then Wall Street will use that or not as an excuse to move billions of dollars. Based on the survey of 220 people in Michigan who refuse to understand anything. They hate actually anything that rhymes with facts. They're not a big fan because again, it has been about 8 months of inflation going down, but they're worried and feel as if you should immediately go and buy a Hyundai as soon as possible. Okay? So yeah, it's a very odd situation, but consumer sentiment. So like we said, just lately it's been going up. Sometimes we react, sometimes we don't. It all react to Bradley Frizzle at the page. Oh, you want to talk about reaction? Oh, BA baby. Peach Nation. Bradley Frizzle and the Peach is here. Hard. Let's go. Happy Friday. Disney on the high too, bro. Are you kidding me? Let's go. I want more Boeing now. I don't know what came over me. I'm Boeing, back to Cali. Hey, bro. Ulta. Fuck. Alright, well, first set, they're all holding up still. Even though it's moving slow, bro, those cheap dailies are still up. That's insane. It's leveled out, though. It's not going up as crazy, but still the same setup from the morning. And again, pizza is trading. Let me check volume on pizza. It's very odd. All of the options, I think either illiquidity or something's brewing. I thought they paid their dividend a while ago, though. Again, Disney on the high, Hershey's, UTI, and then SPY right at VWAP. Yeah, ex-Divi was like 2 weeks ago on pizza. I told you, look at the pre-market levels. You got the Trump China comments, the Besant, the Greer even, and then now you're going to get the blue hair. And then at that point, you'll have enough. But then the question still remains, are we going to react to all this data, or are we going to use it to do nothing? Staples are going nuts. Mondelez and a few others, Coca-Cola, now even Dominion Energy. But yeah, a lot of staples are going up. Revolve, they're kind of popping. Yeah, my pizza divvy. For some reason, I didn't get it till right now. But yeah, $23, baby. Oh, and I reinvested it. Wow, so now we have a little bit more. Okay, look at Revolve. I don't know what's up there. Fizzerv. And Spy Chillin'. Low Ticker getting a little boost, though. And Costco, Staples. Anything cyclical is doing great. Fly W. Flywire, bro. Is this halted or what? Thing just MP, damn, that thing's at 20. Alright. Apartment cancels $331 million award for Exxon. Ulta. Alright, hold on. I gotta readjust something. It might cut out. Give me a second. I think we're good. Or even this computer's tweaking out, bro. Yeah, dude, it just reset my whole back end. Please hold. Alright. Yeah, bro, that was the thing I was telling yesterday. I can't believe everybody was talking about it. Chicago PMI 40.5. Estimate was 45. Yeah, bro, it just knocked out. I can't set it up on there. Spy's moving if you have data, but I saw a pump fake. Wait till the one in just a little bit. ONON, Nike, Sezzle dying. Ooh, and then CLS. Yeah, Sezzle's down 5, whatever that is. And then CLS as well, Celestica. Yeah, bro, some of these are getting mollywopped. Now Target's climbing. Yeah, bro, all of these staples. It might be there. Is that pizza again? Pizza. And then Ford. The background noise. Oh, that's sad, bro. That's sad. I always thought you were locked in. You haven't been here in 2 weeks, big dog? You gonna tell me you're distracted? Ah. UPS, very cheap. Oh, I'm shopping right now. I'm shopping. I'm even a little worried too. You guys know it's about this summer. You know that, right? is about to be summer. So the summer trading too, that might be a little different. Yeah, UNH, I saw that move in here. Again, healthcare is murdered though. But then again, something in the last like 5-10 minutes, a lot of staples and healthcare, a lot of cyclicals just looks like computers straight up. Yeah, China's even at the low. Again, SPY hasn't moved at all. Welcome to Friday. You're literally just holding the gap. And again, the PMI came out better or lower, but I think the market took it good, but that doesn't matter. We will get consumer sentiment here shortly, and then that'll be your like main event of the day most likely. Okay, bonds now too. That's what I'm saying. I don't know the data they responded, but something's going on. Hold on. You got a decent red, but way bigger bond move. Like I told you, wait till currencies, dollar, all of that. But if they start moving, you might have something. Yeah, all the currencies flushed. Yeah, look, something's happening. All ahead of the data, too. SPY puts are up a lot. All relative though. Golden dollar, yeah, but something in the last couple of minutes, currencies just went straight down. Dollars going, and then literally 2 decent candles. Only problem is that everything looks big because we just opened. So the range is very, very tiny, but I would be on watch. Something might be brewing, and then literally in 10 minutes you're gonna get the data. So regardless, you'll have something soon. And then again, China at the low, a couple of others. There's SQQQ. I have no idea what's going on with this one. Bonds green. Yeah, that's again, maybe that is just a rebalance. Yeah, SPY on the low ticker. All right, eyes up though. I mean, it's either going to be something related to trade policy or not. And then again, 10 minutes, you're going to react to soft data. Huh? Is that in 5-4? I have no idea, bro. You gotta ask Marcus. But hey, man, baby. Hey, man. As long as it vibes, baby. As long as it vibes. Yeah, gold down. I mean, if you really want to see a liquidation, that is what you would see. But for the most part, I would just give it a second. Either we need a bigger dollar currency move, or this might just be jitters ahead of the data. But again, I don't know if the data is going to move us or not. We've seen people have a tantrum and be very choosy. And then SPY's still going down. So again, whatever happened in the last 3-4 minutes, that's still going on. We don't really have a headline. And Vitis, they sold off too. Okay, there's Target. They keep climbing. Yeah, watch Staples. Staples are up by 1%. It's actually kind of crazy. Okay, Microsoft. Is that what it is? Bro, look at Microsoft and Google. But Microsoft took big candles there. That coincides with the SPY. Yeah, it's all big tech, bro. What am I saying? All of that, all of this was just big tech giving some of it back. After we get the data, I'll get you guys the checkup, but that has been a major theme there. And like, even though the currency's kind of moved on that, it looks like it was more just one or two big movers. Burke on the high. Very interesting. I'm trying to find it. It's going to be fun. Because again, remember what I showed you guys in the beginning? I showed you at the beginning of the week. Let's see. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Does anybody want a pizza? Pizza, pizza. So, consumer sentiment is in 5 minutes. But what has been the trend in the last couple of weeks? Something big has happened. UNH big pop. Yeah, we saw the first run. It's just kind of melting up. And it is doing something odd considering not all the other ones are doing that in healthcare. Yeah, bro, Warby, the contracts with time are holding great. They were a little annoying at first, but yeah. There it is. Yeah, Samuel, you want a pizza. Samuel. Mr. Samuel with the jet badge. You were the first one. If you would like a Papa John's pizza, I will send it to wherever you want. Okay, but yes. Let me find you the image. Why do I have so many pictures, bro? Yeah, it's actually even more, even after the last couple of days. But yeah, soft data has improved materially in the last month, pretty much. Like I was telling you guys a month ago, I'm like, hey guys, reality check. It's been 6 months, 8 months even for some. So if you're like, oh, this is going to happen, I'm scared. It's been almost a year. So we talked about that, and ironically enough, in the last month, the soft data has gotten a lot better. Even all the data you got this week has been a lot better. So the answer was soft data. Soft data has improved notably, materially. So the data you're getting today is soft data. That was the drama. We all have our opinions, and we're going to see how the market takes it. But generally, the trend in the short term, soft data has been reversing its previous negative trend that it had. Yeah, let me check UNH, bro. I got old plays, but they're decayed. But yeah, UNH isn't, it's moving like it's above average, but it's not expected to have more volume. Look at MP. Oh, we should have held those ones too. I had in the money MPs. That was one of my only hitters here. I did good on it, but yeah, you would have got another $2 a contract. Again, Warby and Pizza too. Those are both moving. I don't know what the fuck is happening with Pizza. But like I said, at first, I guess it's a new price. But those options have been weird, but now they jacked up. All right, minute and a half till data. Baba again. J&J, yeah. I don't know if this is breaking out. J&J has been one of these names that, you know, the real breakout on J&J, I would sadly be looking above 160, 170, or below 140. Until that happens, it's not even like J&J's been like that for a minute. Love the company, though. They still have the talc baby cancer shit hanging over their heads, as they should. All right, 1 minute, boys. Is it? Yeah. All right, 40 seconds. Yeah, just get ready for it. What are we expecting? Oh, that what is it? 7.3 is the expectation. That's your fucking 1 year. And then 5 year, 4.6. So yeah, I mean, more room to be better. And then if it does get negative, see. But like I told you, the sample size is even tiny. You know that? And after all of the recent freakouts, people have been trashing the consumer sentiment. Okay, 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. And we're off. 5 year, 4.2. 12 month, 6.6. Yeah, I just fell off a cliff. Very, very, very good. Very, very good. Actually, that's funny because the other one was kind of high, but yeah, people thought it was going to be very, very high. So yeah, I'll take it as a good one, finally. Fucking crackheads, they're trying to preserve some legitimacy. Yeah, it just came in a lot lower. 6 point, and then even consumer sentiment 52 versus 51. Again, 1 year went down to 6.6. Last time it was still 6.5, so it still went up, but it's not as crazy as last time. And then 5 year expectations dropped by 10%. So like I told you, that was the trend. It's been 9 months, and people are like, oh my God, it's gonna happen. No, it's not. It's been 9 months. And then now people are finally, you know, all the other soft data has gotten really good. So they just would have looked even dumber if they were like, 10, it's going to 10. No, it's not. Shut up. We don't listen to you anymore. Okay? So, yeah. Not bad. Save it. Well, honestly, look at the reaction. It's pretty small. It is bullish, and yeah, it's a good thing, but it's really a matter of, does this actually have a follow-through, you know? It's ripping, but it's still kind of small. I like the news, but even last time when it came in really bad, it didn't have a big reaction. But that is good news, and add that to some of the other stuff, but you still have the lingering uncertainty from the last couple days. But that is good data. That's good information. You finally have the survey respondents are finally kind of nudging to reality, but it's still elevated. But again, that was the first one this year where it didn't go higher. Let me put it that way. So maybe you can make a play on it. That was the first consumer sentiment this year that didn't go higher. Technically it did on the 1 year, but in a weird way, yeah, that was the first time it did not move. The inflation expectation did not go higher. See, like, here's the funny part. Ironically, it went up by 0.1, but the expectation was way bigger. But then finally now, first time this year, that long-term expectations went down. So look here, Donald Trump. Oh my God, Donald Trump. First time it dropped, but it's still elevated. So take that how you please. Whole year being a part of an amazing community literally changed my life. Thank you, Josh and Chad. Thank you, bro. I'm glad you took it seriously. And I'm glad to hear that. And I think there's many more things to come. And to give yourself some credit, too. Because it does rely on the type of person you are. You know, I think there's some people, y'all would have been successful whether or not you encountered me. Some of you would have failed whether or not you encountered me. Some of you are going to complain no matter what. That's why I like to do these speed runs and shake things up, because you were going to complain anyways. I'm just speeding the process up. But give yourself some credit. And some of you who apply yourself, take things seriously. Take your future seriously. Those are all good things, man. And that type of personality is a good thing. And I hope that you continue to feed it. And feed that if you got it, baby. Eli Lilly, and then PGR, and bonds. But yeah, it's weird. Insurance going up. But yeah, Eli Lilly. NVO is ramping up too a little bit. Angie, all these medicals now are going up. First it was UNH. Now some of the other ones, you had med devices yesterday. For being here, baby. Amen. That's why I hope none of y'all put down the finish lines and remain consistent. Amen. MSTR, Popper. Is Bitcoin down? Yeah, a little bit. It's a little bit green. But yeah, SPY just dancing around. It was good consumer sentiment. Good and bad, depending on how you want to look at it. But first time in the year where long-term expectations have gone down. Pizza. Now until Trump. Well, we'll see. We do have Trump and Elon at 1:30 Eastern. So that'll be fun. EVO. Okay, again, a lot of staples and then a lot of healthcare specific drug companies and then a little side of MSTR and autos, bro. Honestly, bro, it's everything. You're getting a lot of melt right now, but everything's melting from red. So you're still red on the day. What's the deal with realtors wanting someone to sign a first-time showing agreement? It was because of the changes with real estate commission. They want to make sure they get paid. So they're trying to get you to sign that shit. All right, what do we got? Dow Jones, you got 18 names in the green, 12 in the red. Not bad. NASDAQ, 43 in the green, 58 in the red. And then S&P 500, 190 green, 312 in the red. So yeah, a lot of things are picking up, but most of it is red still. Like I'm saying, all of the advancing is advancing from red. So it's going to look like you're going up, but you're only going up to break even. And then, yeah, but so far, that little set of data is good. Everything pre-market was bad, though. So we'll see. Pony again. You hate this market? I know, man. I know. Believe me, I'm not going to lie to you, bro. Sometimes I wake up, bro, and I get tired of it, too. Sometimes when I go home after the day and I'm done with the gym, bro, I'm like, I'm tired of this shit. But then I just slap myself, and then I snap out of it, and I look at the long term, and then I realize all I have to do is wait. And they will hand us opportunities. That's it. So, yeah, don't worry, man. I feel you. This is not an easy market. I think I warned you guys accurately even a month ago because, and we said this last night, because we saw a lot of things like 2018 and a lot of the last Donald Trump. We got to learn a lot and there was a lot of similarities, but this time around it was way different, like way different. And that's why I even said, I was like, dude, I think we could even go and hit highs after we were hitting all those China deals and all of that. I'm like, yeah, we could hit an all-time high. I think we could do it. That's possible. I also think it's in the realm of possibility that you have a deflation. So, but it's like, even if we hit an all-time high, even if we deflate, I think it's going to do it so choppy. Because I'm telling you, bro, it is the messaging and the media and Trump. Trump is already a wild character, and the media is absolute dog shit. That's why no matter what happens, you're gonna be pestered by 100 different spins of the news, and then it doesn't help that Donald Trump he's gonna do whatever the hell he wants whenever he wants to do it. So, yeah, it's one of these weird situations, but I do think that I'm just like, man, it's difficult, but take a step back, be still, and I think you'll be fine. And that's why long term. And we just got to wait for the easy breakout. But in the meantime, it's going to be choppy. And that's why, because there's a lot riding on it. If you are correct on the real move, man, there's a lot of money to be made. And that's why I think it's going to be so choppy until we find these answers. China appoints Zhu Ji as Director of Liaison Office in Hong Kong, China. Or China State Media. Tesla going up. Yeah, I had Boeing up. Domino's now. Pizza, pizza. RTX 2. Dollar expected to suffer consequences of tariffs. So that was the thing we talked about with Section 899. That's the crazy thing. And I can't believe everybody brought it up. They might try to bait Trump into it. Let's see. But yeah, I only think they do the Section 899 if the dollar actually does die, then they'll do it. If not, I think it's just all drama. All right, SPY came to the opening candle. Again, good consumer sentiment data, or better, a lot better than any of the other ones we've seen. HLI, but yeah, you're kind of getting some resistance. It's still moving slow. Everything's red except the Dow. Dow is way more advanced, but like I told you, Hasbro. Again, I wanted to watch the toy companies. Russia envoy tells U.S. Security Council a simple ceasefire is not enough to end the war in Ukraine. Russia envoy to achieve sustainable, lasting settlement. We need to address its root causes. Hymns, Sentinel 1, and a few others. All right, high ticker starting to go a little bit more. You're getting that resistance as long as no big tech drops off. I think he'll be good. I don't know if there was Duolingo news. I didn't check. Did they get clapped? A little bit. They're down $15. Yeah, you got Russia headlines coming out now. No, unless they had earnings. Or Duolingo, Citron. That was on May 21st. Yeah, I got no idea what's going on with them. Palantir, and then Eli Lilly's been going up a lot here in the last hour. Yeah, Palantir breaking out. TLT breaking out, damn it. Again, UNH still up. XLV. Staples were #1 winner in the morning. Buy a condo or rent? No, they all hold. You just got to get in a good area and at a good price. So if the market ever goes down, then condos will suck. But for now, it's just all about location and price. SPY popping pretty aggressive. All right, eyes up. Again, I don't see a true social yet. But yeah, that's a pretty big move. Kind of randomly. Literally, look at the time too. It's hella random. Bostic. Again, the Fed, you guys. May I remind you, I would encourage you to get this now. The Fed speakers do not matter anymore. I told you this in advance, but even the data is there. The Fed speakers don't even move rate cuts anymore. They don't even move the odds. So no one, it's only Jerome Powell. I'm telling you, the last month or two, I have ignored every Fed speaker comment, and it has not changed anything. It is, honestly, they are one of the main culprits of noise, as sad as that may be. But I think you're better off, and the market realizes it too. All that matters is Powell. That's it. All that matters is Powell. GATX, and then Warby running, and then Meta. I don't know what that is, but I think it's just momentum. You got Carvana going up. I think it's just momentum from the data still. And then again, Staples and a couple names melting up. You just need the other names. Again, big tech starts playing along. like I'm saying, Meta, that's going to lift you. You get Google and Microsoft on board, and then you'll start to melt up. You're only down 0.3 now on the NASDAQ, 0.15 on the SPY. We went over some of the Trump Powell stuff this morning. Some details were in the morning headlines. But yeah, and then a condo thing, yeah, just make sure you get a good one and watch out for the HOA. But, you know, if you could go to college and own a property, sometimes that could help pay for your schooling. And then you sell the property when you're done with it or rent it out, but get a good quality property. And then don't overpay. If you overpay, that it'll be a bad idea. Yeah, because right now you could get way more renting. Right now, almost anywhere, you could get a steal of a deal by renting. The same property to buy it would be substantially more money still. GLPI, Nutra, Natera, they're getting flushed. Not as bad. It looks worse on the low ticker. GLPI as well. A couple biotechs. This is gaming, leisure, and properties. That's not even... It got a ticker like a biotech. Palantir's still going. I told you that first breakout. That's still going now. 4%. Bigger candle on Palant. And Tesla, too. Oh, that's Palant in the top right, and Tesla, damn it. Then JP Morgan, now Unity. Look at the high ticker, 30-second, 1 minute, 5 minute. It's all climbing. Yeah, and the bonds, and GME, and Meta. So yeah, get ready. You might be a little bit more melty here. Yeah, bro, Tesla's starting to go. See what we got. See, the problem is that right now, every day, the last week and a half, right when it looks like it's about to go, it'll go, and then no follow through. And then it ends, and then that's it. So that's the only worrisome thing. Because literally everything in the last 2 weeks, right when it's ready to break down or break up, just dies. Core weave, it needs to get optimistic again. Yesterday was good, and then that little $20 sell-off, I got people again. UNH, XLV is about to go green right now. Staples, now you got TEM. Okay, SPY's not moving as much, but there's a lot of things moving up right now. Again, they're moving up from red, and then Palantir's actually green. But yeah, I think you're going to need Microsoft and Google and Apple or Nvidia to play along. Now you got Tesla and Meta, and then everybody else. Elon Trump is going to be at 1:30 Eastern, I believe. T-Mobile and Verizon, Comstocks. Meta is a communication, technically. Yeah, Verizon, AT&T, not as much. But yeah, those are melting up now, too. Staples, where's utilities? Even utilities are damn green. So yeah, you got some names doing good. There's XLV going green right now. So Dow is the only one. SPY's next. If it is going to go green. Tesla's still climbing. LMT now. But yeah, look, if Microsoft, Nvidia, that's what's holding you back. Look at this high ticker, and then look at the index. Yeah, they did say Meta's working with Anduril to make AI weapons. Yeah, NVO breaking out now. Eli Lilly, like I'm saying, healthcare started off low. Healthcare, even medtech. That was yesterday. Yeah, they're all going up now. There's NVO back above 70. Gold is down too. Yeah, all the currencies came back too. I still think that's going to be a big one on the day. Any move, you need the dollar to play along if you want follow through. There's Tesla. There's Eli Lilly. That candle is getting bigger. Tesla again. Yeah, I like it. Again, you're seeing this ever since the consumer sentiment. You got big. Yeah, I don't know how much of an effect that's going to have. There's Tesla again. Like I'm telling you, everything's running except for 6 names. Again, your Mag 7, some of them, and then give or take any like earnings lagger from the AM. Here, I can tell you in real time. So yeah, Dow Jones has 13 names red. NVIDIA, Salesforce, Chevron, Boeing, Nike, Apple. So again, those names are the ones holding you down. But NASDAQ's 50-50 headlines. There's Carvana again. And then SPY's still holding. Like I'm saying, the high ticker keeps going. You keep seeing these names. But you're not moving because Microsoft's not moving. Apple's not moving. Google's not moving. But all these other names are starting to get advances. Okay, Humana now. This is just part of the XLV trade. Tesla could be the conference, yes. But even then, I think Tesla should be up a lot more because Elon stepped down. What do you mean? They killed the stock because of it, and then he leaves. And then he announces the driving car thing, and then they sell it off. Right, man, not bad. Idea a lot more. And again, Waymo is already operating. But I respect the idea of just like, we are getting closer to automated cities. And I don't think people have realized it. I just realized it. But I'm not really, maybe it'll be a botched rollout. Maybe it'll be smooth. But if he actually gets a working product and the robots and all of that, I think it is a very interesting direction that we are headed in. And there will be opportunity winners and losers. I just think we're really close to automation. And it's not going to be like the automation like the Jetsons, but it's still like, it's a trip. It's a trip. And that's why I'm like, I think getting involved in there, I see the hype behind it. But I don't care about the taxi. I care about what the taxi leads to. Does that make sense? But yeah, very, very, very fascinating topic. The only problem is that everybody in the tech world has been saying this forever. They've been, it's coming. It's going to change the world. You're going to lose your job. What do you mean? Everybody knows the AI automation. Imagine automated home builders. Okay, well, do you want me to tell you? You want me to? Honestly, I think I could tell you this now without a bunch of idiots. Oh my God, you're so biased. Because now it's not even my biggest position. It's definitely top 5, but before you have to tell me about Airbnb, you got to tell me about Altria. You got to tell me about Abivai. You got to tell me about Uber. You got to tell me about JP Morgan. Then we could talk about Airbnb, and then right afterwards you get Netflix and Meta. But yeah, Airbnb. Are you ready for some tinfoil? Some futurist? I need to talk to my Chinese homie. He would love this conversation. You guys would just call me biased. He would love this. He would love this conversation. U.S. Supreme Court lets Trump strip 500,000 migrants of legal status. Damn. Wait, so they're turning legal immigrants into illegal immigrants? Jeez. So here it is. Here's my futurism for you. Are you ready? As we get into an automated world, yep, Airbnb is going to be a winner. 100%. Imagine when Airbnb starts offering an automated host. You know what that is? It handles your bookings. It handles customer service. It books all your maintenance requests. And then it literally has an auto-maid that cleans up everything in the property, records the property, and gets it ready for the next guest. That's what I'm talking about, automation. Yeah, literally auto-host. Uh-huh. And I think you guys like this conversation. Airbnb on the high. But yeah, think about it. No, and they're already spending money. And I'm always like, what do you mean you're spending money on AI, bro? No, that's what it is. That's what they're going to do. And it's going to work. After driving a Waymo, give it 10 more years. Maybe even sooner. But yeah, Airbnb is going to be a whole ecosystem of robot maids or robot hosts. And then mix it in with the booking and then the supply chain of repairs down to cleaning. Yeah, it's there. That's why I'm like, holy fuck. But then again, think about it. Host would make more money. The company would make more money. And then, yeah, they're just selling another automated service, which is now related to the real estate. I know, yeah. So, shout out to long term. That's my futurist tinfoil for you. That's it, bro. I went in one Waymo my life. That's it, bro. All y'all saying you need to do mushrooms, just go drive in a Waymo. And like, oh my gosh, the future is here. Holy fuck, what's happening? And then it tries itself, and then we're so close to automation, we all gonna lose our job. So yeah. UNH still going. He just wanted to kill Supreme. And then core weave spreads are tightening. And pizza still up. Sweet greens came back up. CF, watch any of the steel shit. But SPY did not break out. Bossy. Yeah, Micron too. They had bad news in the morning. They're still down. Micron got clobbered by Intel competition. That was part of the headline. Celsius. Yo, Celsius kind of running. It's like ramping up and then breaking out to a new high. I want sweet greens to die. That's what sucks because it really is. I think they might need a fund. I think they might have to do an offering. But I just love the hype around it and the brand. But it's not. I don't want the 50% risk. I don't think it's worth it there. Because then if it drops 50%, then they start adding shares and then You could be stuck. You could be stuck there for a minute. There's Tesla again. I really want a Tesla. Oh, they already jacked. I had one on my screen. Lemonade, Banyan Hill, triple your money with AI insurance. Nice. Brought to you by Tesla. UNH. Yeah, I get time on it. That's the thing. The daily, they're just going to hoe you once enough people position. But if you get time, I think it'll give you more exposure to the fuck shit. Because again, if they announce something, all of that, you still got $40 to move up or down. So just get time, but then it's cheaper. If you get the right timing on the daily, you'll smash it. But I think time to protect yourself. Same with Tesla. I put out a Tesla play now to watch. I didn't take it. I'm going to wait for a pullback, but I think everybody's getting the idea to start buying ahead of the event with Trump. But again, I need a pullback. This whole week, again, we've taken losses. We've got wins that when they won, they were very good. But every play I didn't hit on was because we didn't get follow through. Literally. Everything would look like it's going to make the move and then just somehow, some way would not make the follow through move. So that's what I'm waiting on. That's why Tesla, I'm going to wait till a pullback if I am going to take it. Because this looks good, but nothing is followed through. You need the music. Well, you know, Uncle came out with a new song today. It's amazing. It works better in the gym, though. I'm telling you, that song is, oh, man. Yeah, but UNH at the high. Ants on the high, too, ANSS. Yeah, and Synopsis. Yeah, Core Weave coming up. Should be on Spotify. Yeah, look at high ticker on full black. Yo, Yin, China. Yeah, they're all moving. I put na. Hey. Long term. Na. Hey. Long term. Amen. Oh, yeah, you're moving there. Bonds are going down. There's been a quick little run here on China names. So like I'm saying, I don't know if there's an update or everyone's there in Tesla. So again, those Tesla plays took another gap. The ones that I told you to watch, they're a little bit more expensive. You could go with the cheap ones. Everyone's just hyping up the Elon meeting. So it's either going to follow through or it won't. But take your risk if you want or wait. I chose wait, but you know, you already got paid if you took it. Mag N and then Nuke. Magnera Corp, 5%. Yo, MAGN, 5%. It's a liquid, so I'm not as jumpy, but 5% is usually something. Somebody bought 738. Yeah. Director Brown by 16,000 at 1180. What? So yeah, Bruce Brown, MAGN, director, not of, it's literally, I have the form 4, May 29th, 1160 to 1190. You want to be a whale? Well, to put it into perspective, The first one I saw, the first contract I saw afterwards, it falls in the realm of tinfoil. It's crazy. Okay, man, bond volatility is insane, bro. To go green and run to now red out of nowhere, even after all the data, absolutely wild. I'm gonna keep playing up. That keeps going. Ally says buybacks are on table, but hearing just yet, not happening. Still cautious. If the dollar goes big, then you'll have it. Octa selling gold. Yeah, the yen, bro, the yen died with the bonds. Pound is moving up, but not crazy yet. But yeah, all of the currencies just took a stick. So yeah, and Canada. Nah, something's brewing. Unfortunately, though, that happened in the morning and nothing materialized. So, like I'm saying, the follow through is the issue. That's the only problem we're having here. That's the only thing that's going to fuck up any of your plays. Follow through. So yeah, Canada, every currency is moving now. There might be something. Yeah, China's coming down too, but I think bigger move on Canada. But eyes up. Deal. Hey, yo, Boeing news again. I don't know if is Boeing even moving. Boeing's going down. Saudi lesser Avalis may place order for Airbus. Oh, yeah, that's why. Yeah, they're going to buy an Airbus. Alright, I'm going to buy some cheap puts. Bobo. Because I wanted to get a market put, but I think Boeing will work. Either time or daily if you think it'll turn into a stick. It's kind of light. Like, keep in mind, it's just one person opting for a different, thing. So, yeah. Let me see. Which ones are they? Yeah, you either go with time on that or not. Or it could be a dud. They already went up. They're up 20%. Oh, yeah, there's a spy. Oh, that's all right, see. That'll be my downside play. Because I wanted with the Canada stuff. But, Boeing. Now you're ripping. Not on Boeing, but on this SPY. Look at the high ticker. 1 minute, 30-second volatility just went nuts. Yeah, there's Embraer for airline makers, but most big commercial purchases are that. Embraer sells a lot too, but it's just different. Boeing, Airbus, they're a certain type of aircraft. Okay, the premiums haven't budged, but neither is the stock. And then look at SPY, though. Like I'm saying, short-term volatility up. We've literally had bonds flush 0.5%. SPY down, up, VWAP test. But yeah, now you're back up. Marvel, too, now. That's going green. Or not green, but first breakout of the day. EMN on the low. Eastman Chemical down 4% in Flushing. Avalis could place order for Airbus after deal. Also interested in Airbus. Riata Air may select Airbus over Boeing. Decision due in coming months. So yeah, that's coming out now. Another update on it. Palantir again, yeah. Yeah, whatever EMN was, that looked like a short report. Oh, wait. Is Eastman Chemicals Kodak? Yeah, you're right, huh? I think that sounds very familiar. Air India? That's a new one, but I'm seeing Avalease. Again, a Saudi one in Riyadh Air. My plays are up. Okay, I'm up like 10 to 30%, depending on where you get filled. If you buy the ask, I'm up 30%. On the bid, I'm up 10% on the Boeings. But yeah, we're not really moving. You were just about to break out, no follow through. You were just about to break down again, no follow through. The bonds are the only thing dying, so. And then Palantir ripping, and then let's see if Boeing hits. Crude oil output rose to record high in March. Yeah, NVO keeps climbing too, but Eli ran first, so NVO has to catch up. But yeah, all of them are going. Boeing a little lower. Missed collections. Connect. Oh yeah. All right, Matthew did it. Earth. Want to learn how to trade stocks and learn about Jesus? Welcome to Chattadonia. All right, you unlocked the tin. Thank you, Matthew. Matthew did it. I don't know how he did it, but he did it. That's amazing. So, here's the deal. Are you ready for this tin, bro? This is from that Republican girl, Laura Loomer. Some of you have heard the name. It's mind-blowing. Bro, the tinfoil is that Xi Jinping's daughter right now currently lives in Boston, Massachusetts. They say she's surrounded by security guards and all of this other stuff. But literally, they are saying that she went to Harvard. She goes under a different name. It's like Xi Jinping or something. And they say that she currently lives in Boston, surrounded by guards even at her house. Yeah, bro. She went to Harvard. That's the tin. I think that's true. I think she went to Harvard. She went to it. But no, that was 4 years ago. But she still lives there. Ain't that crazy? No, I don't know if it's confirmed, though. There's no real confirmation. But now everyone's talking about it. So now people are going to find this out. But that's where it's like, if you're wondering where the Harvard and other stuff and some of these tensions, like in the middle of it, your biggest adversary is their daughter went to Harvard and lives in Boston, Massachusetts right now. So if that's true, that's crazy. But yeah, Palantir again. JP Morgan expects Brazil to remain on hold. There's lots of news stories after this girl dropped it again. But like I'm saying, if just based on like how I verify, objectively, nobody has said this is true. Does that make sense? So I'm just giving you guys what it is. Microsoft ZeniMax reaches contract deal, says union. But do you get what I'm saying? Like, this is being talked about and people have ideas. Dude, it's crazy though. How did it do that? Makes no sense. It literally just filled only... Oh, wait. Did it? No, it filled one of my contracts. But then the rest... It filled 1 penny higher on another trade. Yeah, those little scammers. All right, well, I made Boeing free. I did it with only like 20-30%. I should have had way more, though. They're little scammers, though. It was a daily. That's why. I thought it was going to hit harder. That was nice. United States, fuck. Workers on strike 7,000? What's that? United States May workers on strike 7,000. What does that mean? All right, but now I got a free Boeing. They're up 50% now, bro. That's what I'm saying. They were scamming me hard on that. They literally filled a trade higher, and then they wouldn't make my other trades free. So yeah, I had to go down a penny. Robin. I think all the Palantir people are going to Robinhood. Robinhood's volume's not there, though. Or it's not expected, at least. I'm looking. Again, I wanted a little pullback today on any of these plays, but it's been about 2 hours now. Almost. We're 19 minutes till Euro close. Altria breaking out, and Philip Morris, and AVO, RBA, a lot of random staple, cyclical, calm plays. They're good. AVO, Mission Produce, small volume, big pop, 2%. AVO. Schedules, earnings call. I don't see anything. They do something with avocados. Short-term portfolios cooked. Only thing that'll bail you out in the future is the long term. I would argue you're not the only one. Even on the long term. Again, we talked about this the other day. Like, look at this SPY. It's barely break even or not. And it's been 6 months. So that just means a lot of people are literally not profitable this year. And then how wild the trading has been, that's just a whole nother topic. So be wise, plan, and I wouldn't get too caught up in it, but if you are following a lot of stuff, it's easy to fall in that. The majority of people this year is not like the last couple of years at all. China's spokesperson raised concerns regarding abuse of export controls in semis. Yeah, I see that. Regarding economic trade concerns in various bilateral platforms. First Abu Dhabi bank offering books are covered. Yeah, White House Deputy Chief Miller has a broad range of options on China. Miller says U.S. has many ways to hold them accountable. And then embassy urges U.S. to cease discriminatory restrictions and jointly uphold the consensus reached at the high-level talks in Geneva. All right, well, you're getting some comments right now. They are going back and forth. The China and then one of our trade representatives, or a smaller one. Unity's still going. Victoria's Secret on the high. Remember, they had the what's it called, and then bonds are climbing up. They had the little breach yesterday. That's not the price I wanted. Oh, well. Yeah, yo, Victoria's Secret moving. Check for another headline on that. Deputy Chief Miller, China should seek the path of cooperation. Yeah, and if you guys missed it in the morning, remember, that was one part of it. America's next top general in Europe will lead NATO, officials say. But remember, the Scott Bessent comments, that was, he was saying the deal falling apart, and then Trump came out with all that other stuff. Hey, SPY getting a pop. Again, there is comments literally right now with trade people, but these are just trade representatives. It's not as big, but you're hearing it. Core with more banana, Mr. Hanlana. Good morning, baby. Happy Friday. And yo, Chad. We got 9 minutes, but I want to stand up. 9 minutes till power. Bro, it's still bright and early, you guys. Isn't that crazy? It's been less than 2 hours. Oh, man, we still got the whole damn day ahead of us. Yeah, I see Novartis. I got that right there. I don't know what's going on with it, though. But, yeah, Novartis just took almost pretty much $1 in the last couple minutes. Tesla came down. Well, we'll go to the premiums. See, is it today? No, that was in May 27th. That is confirmed. So maybe they sell off now. But yeah, that's confirmed. Trump closes Bitcoin treasury deal. Okay, there's Unity. So yeah, here's Unity's volume chart. Like I'm saying, that big day where they moved 10%, that was like 20 million or something. So you've almost done all of that, and it's not even Euro close. So right now, the expected volume on Unity, and the algo is pretty good. So remember this number right now, 63.7 million. Legal, write it down. I know you've been following this. Legal, remember that number. 67.3 million. Or 63.7. Let's see how it plays out when we get there. But that's all. Just following the money. There's a lot of money there. That's it. And then there's gonna half of this volume could sell it off. Because let me show you where they bought. So now take a look. Here's the next part. Here's VWAP. So VWAP on Unity is 25.93. The stock is at 27. So, dude, you have nobody who's bought in up here. You have less than 1% of people who have bought in up here. You have 10%, 18% bought in the high 26s. But then you have most of that volume here, and then a lot. Then again, you're still expecting triple that volume by the end of the day. So the positioning could be a lot higher or a lot lower. That's what I'm saying. It's not a guarantee, but it is some information. Yeah, DJT going up now on the Bitcoin team, the SPY, bonds, Robinhood, Unity again, everything, bro. But yeah, watch DJT. That's climbing. na. Yeah, I hate the DJT options, but yeah, you guys got the news early. You heard it here first. All right, NVO now, Core Weave, and the SPY. Look at the high ticker, bro. Everything's gassing. DJT getting a lot more bigger. I hate DJT. Terrible, terrible options. I kind of want to play it. Happy Friday. Amen, baby. Your dog. I love it, dude. That's Minions, bro. Nah, 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 NVO is going, yeah. And then Unity, bro. So again, some of those plays already moved up 40%. I would either make them free or decide to gamble. Like I said, I just sent that to the stream alerts. We just went over the volume on Unity, so you should have full disclosure. It's very simple. We either get a squeeze or we don't. That's all. It has the most volume. I don't care what happens today. But I'm back at break even now, even though the stock's up. Again, most of that even happened. You guys are on the delay still. So these premiums are hitting without anybody reacting. That's just the algo. So like I'm saying, they already chilled out. They 230'd some of them, and then they let it run, and now they brought them right back down, even though the stock's up. It's a dud. There might be another one, though. So C, but that's big. And the Boeing put is still up. Again, Unity's just chilling. DJT again. Again, DJT, 2.5 billion Bitcoin treasury. Oh, they're at a conference on NV on AZN. Japan deepened understanding with each other, made progress towards deal, says Japan, bro. I'm fucking doing it, bro. Getting bigger, I do think that is mainly because of Nvidia and Mag 7, though. So be mindful of that. But yeah, you've been getting back in. See, fixed income. AMSGP. No, that's private. Interesting. Coin on the high and pizza. DJT still holding, my goodness. But yeah, yo, pizza 45 though. All jokes aside, I think we need 46. Remember it was like 45.80, 46 bucks? Or 47, that's where it gets nutty. But yeah, that's still climbing. Yeah, and then again, AmSurge, I don't think you could trade it, but Ascension, I think it's ASNN. Or ASND. There's one of them, but yeah, that's coming in. Hey, L on the high. Again, airlines yesterday were on fire. Okay, DJT, another one. No shit, bro. And 527. Yeah. See, this is a great example. Perfect. So look, this was the last time. 527. This was the last time DJT had crazy volume. And look, it went up and then it went down. That's where volume could mean sell. Don't forget that. So now, out of all those after that, it would get volume. And now today is like the breakout from here. So now we're going up, but that's why I said it never really stays. And sometimes this could be deceptive, but this is above average. And that's what I'm saying when the market's slow. That's why these small caps have been getting the juice. This is just, they're getting these little pockets of money. But then again, people do like the Bitcoin news. Right, you're still going lower. Watch those Mag 7s. But now look, Unity down, Palantir, some of the hype plays are switching. Now I'm watching like Etsy go up, and then Coin, I think Sweet Greens is still up. So different dynamic from the morning. Or some of them are shifting a little bit. Again, it's only 8:40. But back to open. Yeah, Etsy, I keep seeing that climb. Equal weight is down by 0.3. Actually, equal weight's kind of matched up. Again, Canada. Every time we've been getting these downsides, bro. The damn currencies. So, like, look at Mexico and Canada. They're pulling apart. Euro ain't doing shit. The yen is just literally following TLT. Sold you an H? Good. Don't post it. Pizza. AI on the low. That was earnings the other day. Let's see where XLV's at. Matthews, little pop. What was the other one? Magen? That one's still up. Those plays have been up 25 to 50% depending on the spread. All right, Unity went break even. Damn. So again, I hope you made it free. I sent out the alert. I even told you all too. But yeah, that would have got you 40%. You would have got almost a little bit less than half of them for free. But now it's back to break even. SSTK, Shutterstock. All these little small caps now. All right, well, unfortunately, we are past Euro close, but yeah, I don't know. You're still like stuck. Kind of like yesterday, but yesterday was kind of more clear cut because you were Mara. Well, hello, Bitcoin. PGNY on the high. Nvidia.com. Jake from State Farm. What up, baby? On a Friday, on every day, Core Real Estate loves you. You beautiful, blissful soul. That's the BBB. Amen. Good morning. You got a new uncle, man. That's for you. You're fire, dog. DJT again. No shit. And Novo, NVO going. I can't believe this went. Holy fuck. Wait, why did I only get... Oh, I didn't get all of them. It only filled me. Mara. At a bank. Bank of America or Wells. Did those all fill? They did. We're doing the double lotto. So you've seen me do this a couple times. We find the shitty play and then we hit it and then it keeps going. I did this with Synopsis yesterday. Now there's a shitty lotto if we get round 2. So again, I'm going to make it free right away. You already know it. Hims on the high. Team move the other day. Yeah, man. NVO and then Verizon on the high. VWAP for Tesla, you can ask, of course. AEVA, we saw that earlier. Tesla VWAP 359.46. 359, 450 pretty much. Did Unity climb? Unity's holding. Again, the premium's all over. Again, even DJT, that one's wild. IMCR now, another one. Immune Core, just not like a small cap, but a liquid. And then a biotech. No Golden Dome plays, no. I played a Constellation, sold out with a gain. I thought I held it, and when I was mad because I didn't want that to decay. But that was my only one. And then we had the RTX stuff. We hit those this week. Pizza! All right, high tickers running again. So NVO's leading. Again, check Eli Lilly. Now you got Snowflake. Back to VWAP. Again, you had some of the China comments. That was just a weird one. And NVIDIA. France Macron calls on Europe and Asia to unite as U.S.-China tensions flare. Core Weave, 111. They broke out. You guys called that other one. When you were like, oh, it's breaking out. It actually did. So good work on that. And then NVO, I'm big fan. Even pizza, though, bro. That's it. We got $1 or $2 more, but now we get into the big leagues, boys. Sprouts, SFM, Amazon Cloud AI sales, multiple billions a year. AI chief. Is that guidance? Lion former Munchkin increases stake. Oh, what? So this one's just gonna get hype. I don't know if it'll have follow through. Oh, but these are non-standard. What the fuck? Oh, those options are hella weird. You gotta go shares. Yeah, but it's all be careful on the options. Those are not standard. You gotta play shares. Is it a SPAC? AWS is continuing to expand global cloud capacity aggressively. Yeah, he says multiple billions a year. So yeah, don't trade options on this one. You could go shares if you want to take it. And then Verizon, that IMCR is still going. DJT came down. Unity still there. Palantir, Hood, Coin. And then NVO, I like it. Yeah, we're back to green on NVO in the long term. We have been after the last week or so. Again, that 58 pickup was fire, but now anything from here is just gain. So, and it has another $4 or $5 to fill some gaps and then get to some lower ends. So I'm liking it, but they still NVO sells insulin. Most people don't know this, which I'm shocked. But literally, it's diabetes. And there's people who buy the GLP-1s for weight loss. So that's where Eli Lilly does it better. Eli Lilly has a better drug for weight loss. But if you actually have diabetes, Ozempic is the primary one. That's the real winner. So that's why I think it's kind of ironic, because everyone does focus on the weight loss side. But even if you look at the weekly and pharmaceutical numbers, Ozempic is killing it. They're doing great on the diabetic side. On the weight loss cosmetic, they lost some of that market share, and that's the one that Eli Lilly and Wegovy took over. Or not Wegovy. Is it Wegovy? I think that's NVO. I always get mixed up. But yeah, the general idea though is that, Wall Street kind of panicked over that, but when you go look at the diabetes numbers, and they still have over 40 or 50% of the diabetes market. That's insane. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I bought it. Like, do you really be one of those names where, like, you just move up like 2% a year? So if that still meets your goals and you like it, by all means, but just time. I think opportunity cost. I think it's below book value. It's a great American company. There's a reason why the market isn't punishing it below book value, because it's still worth something, But Ukraine says it will skip GDP warrant payment. What? And then FAA requires mishap investigation for SpaceX. Dude, on June 2nd, a scheduled payment under the GDP-linked securities will be due in respect of the reference year 2023. Ukraine says it will skip the warrant payment of $665 million. Yo, that's terrible. I know you're going to say war, but why the fuck are they missing any sort of payment on a warrant for the country? This makes no sense. And they've been given all this money. What? That's weird. AZN, dude, that's AstraZeneca's sucked. But yeah, bro, I think something's brewing, but all of the plays, I spent like $30 and then they died and then the stock went up. Yeah. Keep it on watch. That might just lag until it doesn't, Pizza 45, come on. And then Spy, you got a candle. All right. And then I need to go to the potty. So let me go potty. Follow me on Instagram at the Trading Fraternity. Real Cult News on Twitter. And if you guys didn't know, my uncle came out with a new song today. If you guys could help him out and listen to it and post it on your social media, it would really help my uncle. Okay, he's saving up for a reverse mortgage. Holy shit, Nade Shot still streams? Wow. He just showed up on my... Dude, I remember, wow. We got more viewers than Nade. I love you, Nade Shot. Oh, it's on subscribers only? I love you, Nade Shot. Someone tell Nade Shot that I love him. He might remember me from back in the day. I know Big Timer remembers me still. But yeah, that's crazy, bro. Holy shit. Blast from the past. I was just going to show you Uncle. Taylor Swift buys rights back to music. Dell on the low. But yeah, go listen to my... Literally put $10 down. I'm already up. I can make it free very soon. Long term.
Hey, Will, this shit is fucking cold.
Made a lot of money, hard not to be cocky, but I work to get 100%. My name isn't Brian. I am 5'6". All right. But yeah, X, that just came out. Again, it's easy to make it free when they're 1%. I think we knew this in the morning. They were saying something about golden shares. So the risk is that something changed. And if it did, it could rip. Other than that, though, it always scams. I hate X too. All right. But yeah, that just came out. I saw it as I was returning from the bathroom. Nice. I need to get a carbo, though. And he will lift you up. Heg says Southeast Asia defense chiefs discuss China. Coming out now. Team on the high as well. And VO selling off after that little melt. Dude, DJT is still up. That's insane. I'm surprised. I think it is 55. There might be some upside if they change the deal, but yeah, we'll see.
Business growth, and then focus on other things that grow the economy: permitting, red tape reform, all stuff like that, education, skills, and which are all doable. There are a lot of places that do quite a good job at this. Read Art Towns. Jim Fallows writes for Atlantic. He's got this book, Art. A teller can make $45,000 or $50,000 a year with full medical, dental, Pilates, massages. Like we take care of our people, and then the jobs go up, and we have to stop denigrating jobs. Oh, and I don't know if Paul Ryan's in the room. I would double the earned income tax credit. I would take that individual who's making $14,000 a year, and they now get a tax credit if they have 2 children of $6,000.
Whoa,
if they have no children, they get $600. I would give them $12,000, whether or not they have children. Okay, that money, it would cost about $60 billion, would go directly into their communities, directly to help their families, directly to help their homes, and I would pay for that by getting rid of carried interest. Like take it from those rich. And so and if we don't do these things, we're going to continue to have a problem. And I think that'll grow the economy too. There's no question they would spend the money. It has the virtue of bringing people into the workforce. People who work, less recidivism. Less crime, more household formation.
All right, they just jacked up the premiums. No movement.
And the first rung in the ladder
I only made like
leads to
$4.
the second rung. And pride.
Very, very small.
And we have to get back to that, not denigrate any job.
I don't get why I just made money on that.
The
stock went lower, the premium didn't go up. Balance, they just jacked up the premium.
We have our place.
I could have got 30, but it filled me at like 5.
I want to go back to this idea, this notion of government efficiency and cost cutting and tackling spending by the government. Today's Elon Musk's last day working with the government. Is Doge and the efforts of Doge at risk here?
Yeah, that's why it's dumping, bro.
And
now the premium's low.
Should the government try to be more efficient?
What?
Well, of course they should. Should the people doing that follow the law? Well,
bro, that same play I just sold just dropped fucking 30% as you just took that stick. So look, Nvidia dropping now, and no, it's cheaper. I'm fucking doing it again, dude. Bro, it went cheaper. I bought the same one. Dude, I just sold it for $20 and I just bought it back. You're hearing it go broom, broom. And then literally, that was weird. I just sold it for 20 and just got back in at 13. And the SPY and NASDAQ just took a point. I don't know, I'm gonna hold it until it bounces then. That'll probably be where it goes. Oh man. Crude oil, Jamie. All right, let me go back to Jamie.
Okay,
yeah, watch out. You're at the low of the day.
Before. We also bought $4 trillion of your securities. On top of the $4 trillion we bought in the first go-round. Those numbers are true globally, not quite as big as ours, but the QE of us was 8 trillion, the QE of the rest of the world was another 8 trillion or something like that. You're talking about huge sums of money. We don't really know the full effect of that. And the bond dealers, which Gary mentioned, inventories are much smaller than they used to be, partially because of rules and regulations. And you are going to see a crack in the bond market, okay? It is going to happen. And I tell this to my regulators, some of who are in this room, I'm telling you it's going to happen, and you're going to panic. I'm not going to panic. We'll be fine. We'll probably make more money, and then some of my friends will tell me that we like crises because it's good for J.P. Morgan Chase. Not really. I tell people when Credit Suisse went bankrupt at the First Republic, it was terrible for the banking industry.
That was your best deal in
history. Better, including that.
He made more money off the bank failure than any deal in history.
Market makers intermediate more in the market.
Buying First Republic was insane.
Just J.P. Morgan alone buys and sells $3 trillion a day. And we move $10 trillion a day of money. And we're probably a tenth. So the money moving around the world is $100 trillion a day. The money moving around in the investments, this is stocks, bonds, corporate governments, derivatives, credit, you name it, FX, sovereign debt around the world, 30 trillion. The people who set those long-term rates are those people, including you in the room. It's not the Federal Reserve. They can try to manipulate the long-term rate. They can do the.
I don't know what happened. We just started dumping, kind of continuing from there. But
so if you look at
all
economic
bad
history,
stuff,
bad things happen. When those tectonic plates shift, it's very hard to see in real time. It is shifting, and this is one of them. I just don't know if it's going to be a crisis in 6 months or 6 years. And I'm hoping that we change both the trajectory of the debt and the ability of market makers to make markets. And also remember, there are a lot of people, going down to Washington who actually like bad markets. And the problem with the bad markets isn't that it's bad for the big banks who make markets. It's bad for the people who raise money, small businesses, asset-backed securities, middle market companies, corporations, the United States government. And that volatility scares people. And then also it happened, markets closed. And you saw that happen multiple times in the last 12 years where you couldn't sell a high yield bond. If you're going to sell a lot of treasuries, you could have had a little bit of issue. So yeah, it's coming. It's just part of all the stuff we talked about. And unfortunately, it may be that we need that to wake us up.
Did it again.
It's an unfortunate thing. So.
We do have some Fed officials in the room, so I do want to touch on the Federal Reserve here.
This is stupid.
Because the message has seemed to be,
I made 30% on that.
We're going to be patient. We're not going to let politics sway our decision
Literally,
and policy.
I'm buying
we can afford to be patient
fucking
here,
downside plays on the red for cheaper.
The economic
selling it when
economy,
the
while
candle
slowing,
goes
does
green.
still seem to be holding up.
So yeah, volatility's
somewhat. That seemed to be the message yesterday too, coming from
Look,
the Federal
and then it's
Reserve with the
dropping now.
release we got on the heels of Fed
Hey,
Chair
that one's
Powell
actually
meeting
holding
with
though.
President Trump.
They just dropped in and quickly brought
Is
it
the Fed
back.
right to give time here?
Yes. The Fed has a tough job, okay? And I have enormous respect for Jay Powell and a lot of the other Fed folks, but they're not, you hear we say the Fed sets short-term rates. We always say that, right? The Fed sets short, and they actually do set short-term rates. But what happened when inflation went up? They followed. Are they really in charge? I just told you $30 trillion a day.
They are. They cave to the
They're
politics,
not really in
which
charge.
we have evidence of, and everybody keeps doing it.
So
You're
that
further
we have the
proof,
best
Jamie.
possible economy, and
Stop
so
the
they
cap.
were late raising rates. They also told all the
dumping,
banks
bro.
in the world that interest rates aren't going to go up to, won't go higher than 2% when they have these ridiculous stress tests we have to go through, which are a complete waste of time. We do 100 stress tests a week.
Dude,
I care about that
are they
one?
trying
And I knew
to
that
trick
rates
me?
Weren't going to stay at 2%.
Because I did it again, bro. I just bought in even cheaper.
Then they caught up.
And now,
we have to wait and see because
I feel like they're trying to bait me to put all my money on this right now.
I don't know.
Because there's no way this is happening.
The other thing I should have mentioned about as we enter this environment, asset prices are still high. That would be very different if asset prices were still low.
That surprised you?
A little bit, yeah. But I mentioned how much money's been thrown out there. So when you do that kind of giving money to the American citizens through QE or fiscal,
is so weird.
Money is like water filling every crack. Some of you bought stuff, some of you saved stuff,
All
some of
right,
you went
well,
to venture
dumping.
capital, some of you went
I don't know. Market
private
could be
credit,
reacting.
Some of you bought a Rolls Royce, but it fills the cracks, but it definitely lifts up asset prices. And so, there'll be a reversal of that at one point. Asset prices come down.
So,
that may
I'm not going to tell you what I'm doing, but just look at volatility plays.
The right to wait now.
And the weird part
I think
is,
inflation
I did
may
it a
be
couple
going up.
times
I don't
now.
know. I
It's
think there's a lot
doing
of
these
stuff in the
fat
future,
red candles,
in the future,
and then the
it's
premiums are
inflationary.
getting
So if
cheaper.
you're the Fed, you can't just
And
say,
then
well,
right when it
what
pops,
happened
the premium
today to consumer
gives me
prices,
30%.
Which, by the way, if you dig into consumer prices, you would
So
throw
look,
out the
those premiums
calculation.
are dying right now.
It's a lot of mud in there, okay? So it makes it,
look,
it's kind of
big ass
consistent,
red,
month
I'm
by month
losing
by
money
month,
on that
but
put.
year over year, 3 years from now, with the adjustments they make, I'm not blaming them. It's hard to really tell. And when you look at certain things like gas and milk and eggs and things like that.
Basically nothing. UK government
and we should do some of
sold
it, but it's going to cost
NatWest,
a lot of
that's
money.
it.
Demographics may be
anything.
inflationary. I don't see the deflationary stuff. Yes, AI may be that, but not next year. I mean, people are spending a lot of money in AI, and you see the projections of data center spending stuff. You're talking about hundreds of billions of dollars.
Yo, U.S. plans wider
we
tech
have
section,
AI use cases,
wider
and it's
crackdowns. I got it.
It's very effective, but it's not going to be
With China, wider
technology is
China
always
tech
deflationary.
sanctions,
It's kind of like
with
a
subsidiary
cosmological
crackdown.
constant.
Yep.
And this one may be
Ignaz
faster
posting
than
it
we've
too.
ever experienced. That I think is possibly true.
You touched on permitting, the idea of deregulation, or at least cutting red tape. Can that help to offset that? Can
Totally.
that be deflation?
Deregulation, permitting, Getting rid of the cobwebs, the barnacles in the boat, absolutely. Permitting, we can't get a gas pipeline from Appalachia into New York. We can't get a hydroelectric wire.
I grabbed a different
Canada
one because I'm just
into
going to keep the other ones. That one's just scamming on every move.
We need. We can't,
I like the volatility plays. They're just moving hella weird.
There's a mountain pass.
But yeah, literally, more sanctions on China.
Company, it's a real.
Jamie Dimon's talking here. Remember, all day I was saying it was just bad China shit. But yeah, they're doing this again. Ay, ay, ay. It's kind of early, bro. Okay, so wait for the first pop here. But yeah, no, this is bad. This is escalation, you guys. She'll be locked and loaded. Yeah, they're moving. Okay, stop doing the... The news is the U.S. is planning more sanctions on China. I don't know. Did Bloomberg break this yet? I don't think they did. CNBC's playing. They're playing Jamie Dimon. But no, it's not. I don't even know where this is coming from. To enhance domestic bioenergy. Is people familiar? Yeah. This is not a Truth Social. So yeah, again, I would just go volatility plays. I stream alerted one if you want it. There's some cheap ones you go to. Other than that, though, again, it's escalation, but we knew the vibe from the morning. Wait till the next bounce, and then it'll probably be a reload again to the downside. Yeah, it's not on Bloomberg yet or anywhere else. So let's go. I haven't made anything free off of after the real ones. I was doing that bullshit when it was going back and forth, but now they moved. They all moved. Alrighty. Yeah, I'm gonna send you guys the lotto for today. Just if everyone panics. Okay, I'm sending you one. That play is only going to work if this turns to 2%. But if this turns into a 2% down day, these are the cheapest plays you could get. With like it's actually like playable. But that's it. You need a fucking follow through. That's it. If there's no follow through, it's already moved about 1.5%, you guys. So keep that in mind. You just need that crazy follow through, and then that'll be it. They're still holding up some of those weird-ass premiums. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. Reagan, Jamie Dimon, we should change how we do broker votes. All right, there's her first bounce. It's starting to formulate, but if that goes down even more, you're at 1.1 on the SPY. Like I'm saying, you need 2% if you want lottos to hit. Otherwise, that was your move. Yeah, I took profits on one set, holding another pair. And then the other weird volatility ones haven't gone yet. I'm waiting. Yeah, I made sure I got paid a little off that. So that just paid for anything I'm holding. Yeah, the news is that it's very murky because it's sources close to the matter. They're saying that U.S. planning wider China tech sanctions with subsidiary crackdowns. People familiar. It would cover Chinese subsidiaries of firms under U.S. curbs. So get ready. Depending on how high this goes, either reload again to the bottom if everyone talks about it and gets panicky, or that's it. But like I'm saying, Lotto plays, you need that 2%. Premiums are still holding, though. Kind of shocked. All right, now bonds too. RR, the robotics plays going down. Nvidia's already smashed. I think it means it kind of relates to Section 899 that we talked about yesterday. But yes, and any subsidiaries, ADRs, but also like non-public Chinese subsidiaries. So yeah, but this was the theme all day. We knew bad China, bad China. That's all we heard. But now it looks like we might have something else actionable. Yo, look at Staples. Because hold on, mother effers are going to Staples as the other shit's dropping. Notice that. They're not panicking. They're just rotating into Staples. It's still kind of early. That's what I'm saying. If it turns 2%, lottos are in play. Otherwise, if it goes a little bit more and bounces, everybody loses. That's why I'm taking my profits on these. I'm not. Don't be too certain. Yeah, again, PG just kind of going vertical. It looks to be rotation with everything. Okay, SPY pop in. All right, the volatility is tweaking out again. Okay, lotto plays got slashed. Again, everything got slashed on that. Yeah, that's the thing, exactly. You're 100% right. Because now we're talking about us doing something, but then this also just means China will probably retaliate. So I'm saying, let's see how this dynamic. You need these motherfuckers to freak, though.
What's extraordinary, like you're showing it, is the market reaction and the reversal of sentiment.
Yeah, and if anything, investors have gotten accustomed to these trial balloons that are floated to the market. I mean, again, we have to point out that this is according to Bloomberg reporting, and the White House and the Commerce Department did not immediately respond to requests for comment. So this is kind of a proposal. It could change.
The H20, they decided not to pursue that license because the rules couldn't allow them to engineer it to the specification required by those governments. The biggest buyers
now
of H20
Tesla.
In mainland China were Tencent, Baidu,
look at
and
Tesla.
Alibaba. The rule is really clear.
Bro.
If a subsidiary, some entity, has ownership that is 50%, that is the threshold of a
okay, now
Chinese
the plays
company,
I wanted died.
then an American technology
now you
company
can go for
will
them.
require
I didn't
a
take them. The one that I told you the whales were on, those got slashed. But that whale
the
sold
license
premium.
requirement is incredibly inhibitive. It basically puts requirements on the technology's design
and
that
again,
make it almost
Staples are the winner
to gain access to
on all of this. There's going to be a follow-up to this headline.
Once again, just repeating the headlines here, the U.S. government is planning a wider tech sanction on Chinese companies with this crackdown on subsidiaries. The rule would cover these units, the subsidiaries of Chinese firms that are already under U.S. curbs. And again, this is according to people familiar with the matter. They describe this bid to target subsidiaries. We did reach out to the White House and the Commerce Department, and there is no comment thus far. Ed, in terms of your reporting, what will you be looking for next? Who are you looking to speak with on this to get more insight?
So I'm reflecting largely on the conversation with Jensen Huang on Wednesday night. But the point of doing that with a subsidiary is that in technology, data centers being an example, but there are others, automotive technology, robotics, those are big end markets. And the reality is that American technology companies, explicitly NVIDIA,
so we know there's going to be a
confirmation into that market. Right now, current export controls do not allow them to do that. And you know, the American, the administration has a policy they call promote and protect.
Dying plays
the
are
promote
cheap.
Side is
so you
where
can kind of go both ways on the lottos,
stimulus,
but it all just go close to the money, and we need to wait for the confirmation.
The protect
I don't know when they'll confirm or deny. That's the problem.
The government calls protect part is the export control, and what
the
biggest names
the lottos are going
right
up
now
on the
is that
reverse.
The rules don't leave any wiggle room.
So the lottos have more value here than they did here.
Market, and nor would they take the risk of going through a third-party intermediary, which is it's complicated, Scarlett, but it's why we put so much focus on the infrastructure that's being built in the Middle East. Because the UAE, for example, is building
even though
all
they
of these
took
data
them a while to
centers
get on
with
TV,
NVIDIA
it came
chips.
from one of their
and
reporters.
In those contracts, my understanding and from my reporting, explicitly requires the UAE not to allow for any of that capacity to go to a Chinese company. That's what's happening. It's about no direct access to an important end market and no indirect access to an intermediary.
Biofuel stuff yesterday, we didn't know how to play
Bloomberg Technology co-host Ed Ludlow, thank you so much for shedding some insight on this. And once again, the headline that the U.S. is planning wider China tech sanctions with this crackdown on subsidiaries is pushing indexes, equity indexes to their session lows and also giving a lift to Treasuries.
Okay, so now they're dropping the ass.
And a lower S&P 500 and NASDAQ.
But volatility dying plays haven't gone up yet. Very interesting. Trump is live? Are you sure? Let's see. Yeah, Donald Trump and Elon. Oh yeah, it is almost 1:30. Well, it's supposed to be at 1:30 and they're not live. He still has like 50 minutes. But yeah, they are setting up all of that. Oh, this guy.
That China will choose the path
this guy.
of cooperation.
This is live. Oh, no, moments ago.
Common ground. And we can open up China to
like,
American business. Just in the same way that America, of course, as we all know, has been open to Chinese business for a very long time now. So hopefully China will choose the path, to use a very common bureaucratic phrase, of rules-based conduct. Not a phrase I often use, but it applies here, and follow the agreement that they reached. Next question.
How quickly must China respond? How quickly must China respond to the president's demands until that action is taken?
Yeah, well, again, as I mentioned, China often says that it believes in the exact phrase of the rules-based international order. Right?
Just
We've all heard that phrase from China over and over again.
Volume,
this is the chance to show it's serious about upholding that commitment
and
to
Cigna, during all of this,
international order. And as soon as possible is the best answer I can give you. We want to see them comply with their agreements with the United States and fulfill their obligations so that we can have, again, a relationship that is cooperative and that is constructive, which is what the president wants.
Stephen, can you share more information about the person who was impersonating Chief of Staff Susie Wiles? The FBI is now investigating that. Can you share?
I don't have any information on that. I apologize.
On the new visa restriction policy that will apply to foreign nationals, that according to the U.S.
to restoring free speech and fighting censorship is one of the big issues in the election, and we're going to fulfill and follow through on that commitment.
Can you talk about what?
All right, coming back down. I like the volatility place. That's what I'm saying. But you need the 2%. Then you lotto. If not, that's it. And pizza.
Well, the State
All
Department
options are up. You got 100% on the bid on the
so
contract.
I don't want to get ahead of Secretary Rubio in how exactly that's going to be developed. So details to come.
Okay, those lottos
are
cheaper.
As a general matter,
even though
the policy is going to be that we're not going to be awarding visas to individuals who have a risk of being engaged in any form of malign conduct in the United States, which of course would include espionage, theft of trade secrets, theft of technology, or other actions that would degrade the security of our industrial base.
For the end of the month,
there's a deeper issue
Rebalance
here
is sell
JD
stocks
Vance,
by bonds.
has spoken about it as well.
Surprisingly.
That we don't do enough in this country to reward and celebrate American genius. We in the 20th century, during a period of very low migration, led the modern world in everything: aviation, space flight, technology, national development, medicine, everything. Using our own genius here in this country.
All day today,
and so, of course, we want to have an immigration policy that allows. Just as we did during the World War II era, people have specialized knowledge
at a low enough
to be able to
price
contribute to our national economic security.
Domestic
what we can't do is have a system that deprives Americans of an opportunity to contribute to their own country. And we can't have a policy in America where every citizen of this country, whether looking for a job, whether looking for housing, whether they're looking for a government benefit in a time of need, has to compete with all of planet Earth. Because then you're not a nation anymore.
Are they buying Bitcoin?
At that point, you're just a world economy.
Steve, are you considering taking actions against other universities in addition to Harvard, what does that process look like? And have you been in touch with any of the other schools' leadership about what they need to do to avoid such repercussions?
It's a Canadian company.
Well, so obviously Harvard has been engaged in the most pernicious conduct of any of the universities.
Yo, NVO,
they defied
bro,
a lawful
come on.
subpoena from DHS.
You sold off 2%.
They're engaged in a pattern and practice of invidious race-based discrimination, illegal gender and sex-based discrimination.
You're coming down, though, but
they
it's not
failed to comply
down.
with the
now you got
Supreme Court
Meta,
ruling
watch
in Students for
Microsoft
Fair
and Google.
Admissions. And just the beginning of the examples of
There's
Harvard's
pretty much
perfidy and unlawful conduct.
Floating around the idea of more sanctions on China.
As you know,
or sanctions on China, or some
very first
barriers.
executive orders.
But
Is going through a
escalatory,
compliance
not
process
confirmed yet.
with all of America's
So there's
institutions
another
of higher
move
learning
in
and
store.
K-12 to ensure rigorous compliance with our nation's civil rights laws, in particular Title VI and VII and Title IX. So that's protections against racial discrimination and protections against sex-based discrimination.
And I'll play this. You've got all the headlines, but I'm going to remind you guys, it is Friday today, okay? So keep that in mind for contracts. Keep that in mind for everything, and then we'll see what Trump says. But also, look at the time, and it is Friday. I will be going to Philo very soon, okay? So if you do not have a membership, I will be kicking all of you out. And don't get mad at me. And don't call me a sellout. That's fine if you do, because I do make a lot now. But at the end of the day, you get mad at the people who got mad at me for Jesus, okay? That's it. And God don't need me to defend him. I'm just being a little bitch about it. But you get the point. So either way, get those memberships. Otherwise, we're going to be dipping out very soon. And that's going to be during all of those events. So if you want to watch it here, or you could go to anywhere else you like. Okay, I'll be right back. Watch for the lows.
Authority to conduct trade, because trade is a core element of national security and foreign policy. It's why the Congress has given the president those authorities. So nations all around the world understand that they are required to continue these negotiations with the United States in order to avoid tariffs. And they all understand that.
Could you talk about Elon Musk and his...
Oh, sorry, behind you, yes. There's a question behind you. Yep, sorry.
Just real quick, would you describe...
he went like a little bit first, like 5 seconds. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
The RFK Jr. report had 7 citations citing academics that turned out to be fake. Could that live up to the standards of the U.S. government? Are there new procedures in place or any accountability?
No, I don't believe that's true, but even regardless, the reality is that what has been fake for generations now is the medical and nutrition advice that so much of this government has been giving our families. And, we saw, of course, during COVID with like fake rules about from the so-called experts about masking and social distancing and everything else, or pretending that there's the same risk profile for a healthy 4-year-old kid as an elderly and obese person. The Maha report is the most significant and important breakthrough moment in terms of prioritizing prevention, underlying health, answering and asking the right questions. Why are there such persistently high rates of pediatric cancer in this country? And why have they increased so significantly since 1970? Why are pediatric cancer rates so much higher in the developed world than the developing world? Why do you even have a concept called diseases of civilization? I think you've all heard that concept before, right? Where in the most developed countries, you have such high incidences of cancer, of immunological disorders, right? In other words, things like celiac disease, food allergies, eczema, psoriasis, gut disorders. You have so many quality of life disorders that can actually be crippling and debilitating, right? In other words, some of these disorders can completely degrade in the person's entire quality of life permanently with no known cures. They can treat these things with, like Crohn's disease, for example. They can treat these things with steroids. They can try to mitigate the symptoms, but there's no path out for millions of Americans. What is causing young babies in this country to have these crippling allergic reactions or immune systems that don't fire properly? They underreact to certain illnesses. They overreact to other illnesses. And we don't see these same things in the natural world and other primates. And so the report, which took just such extraordinary courage, and I'm so grateful to Bobby, in talking about the chemical load in our society, the chemical load that a child accrues from the day they're born, in terms of everything that they touch and interact with in the world, the complete denuding of our food supply. In other words, the eradication of all living things, all natural things from our food supply in the form of these ultra-processed foods, so that children are living a life where they're not having access to anything natural, they're not having access to anything that's healthy. Everything they do have is loaded up with insane amounts of sugar for years. I still think it's the case. You went to like a store and looked at baby food. It's filled with sugar.
I think it's worth it.
Why are people putting sugar into baby food? And how many children's snacks
there will be less
are filled with dyes, artificial ingredients,
and don't let them fool
and,
you, bro.
and massive amounts of sugar? What is this doing to a young body from the day they're born? Combined again with all the chemical exposures, the incredibly accelerated growth,
I was surprised,
and compression of the overall vaccine schedule from even when I was a kid. Parents have questions. They want to know, why do their kids have these chronic health conditions? Why do they go to the hospital when they're sick? Instead of just, in other words, they have like a common cold. Why is it sending them to the hospital? Why is their immune system firing wrong? Why is it that foods that people have eaten for thousands of years are suddenly causing these crippling allergies in children? Why is it these high and persistent rates
the meeting starts in 30 minutes.
Of obesity that is no precedent in history
amongst our young individuals
people?
Moving now. Look at the low
effects
ticker.
and the cost to
Honestly,
our healthcare
the index
system
is holding on
over
way
time,
too well right
when
now.
you have these high rates of chronic illnesses, heart disease, obesity,
equal weight hasn't
lung
hit a
disease,
low yet.
asthma. Like, what are the effects of these on a society, both financially, personally, quality of life?
Mr. McKinley,
why is it that a person in the developing world has a lower cancer rate than an American does? I mean, on average, right? But within a single generation,
I got
their family has the exact same cancer rate, likely to get cancer as the American population.
That well, you guys.
These are questions that no one has wanted to ask or explore or assess, and thank God that Bobby is doing so. I have time for one last question.
Bobby, help us. I don't know what he's ranting about.
No updates on that, so I'll take one more question.
But I do think this is where he came. I think some of those headlines came from this guy.
Does the administration already have an internal procedure on how to identify?
Now you're turning 25? No way, bro. That's hype. You better get a long term. You know that? Like all you young guys, I hope you know. I really
the State
care
Department,
about
under the leadership of Secretary Rubio, is putting in place a system to ensure that anyone who enters this country, but particularly for longer-term immigration benefits, things that have a pathway to a green card or a pathway to citizenship, right? The holy grail of the U.S. immigration system, putting in place a protocol.
Hit a new high
both
before
in terms
we
of
hit
the
a
interview
new
process, the document.
Look at it. Look at this setup. You've seen this many times. VIX is going up. People are buying puts. We're either going to bottom out here or it's about to do the next one, and we still don't have confirmation. We got Donald Trump and Elon in about 40 minutes.
Our national culture is going to be financially self-sufficient. You should never have harmful migration, ever. There should never be a case where somebody's coming into this country who has a negative view about America, about the West, about our civilization, isn't going to be able to pay their own way, is going to have a hostile attitude about the way we live in this country. Like, why would any society, why would any civilization that actually wants to preserve itself allow for any migration that is negative to the country as a whole? And so I applaud Secretary Rubio for taking the steps he needs to make sure that America delivers for Americans. Thank you.
Said, who wants any immigrants that aren't helpful? Yeah, you should say that sentence faster, sir.
The White House Deputy Chief of Staff of Policy, the rock star himself, Stephen Miller, outside.
All right, well, welcome back, Chad. That was kind of wild. So here's the deal, though. They just said, again, that there could be more broader sanctions on China. That's different. Think about it, you guys. We've been talking trade and tariffs, and this is what I was saying yesterday. At the end of yesterday, all I learned is that Donald Trump could be way more aggressive. So now they're talking sanctions and more escalation. That's what caused this, but here's the deal, the kicker. This is like a trial balloon. Nothing's been confirmed. They're just talking about this. So get ready, because that's why I went both ways on the volatility, because that means when Trump and Elon, we're going to get a bigger confirmation to the downside, or you're going to wipe out all of this stuff. Oh my gosh, Rolando, Zachary, Sanoco. I can't believe you joined either, but I think it's a good choice above all else, especially if you take this community seriously. Unfortunately, people who didn't kind of got in the way, but I've heard good reviews, and I promise I didn't ban the people that gave bad reviews. I banned them because they on some other F shit. You know, why did I censor one and not the other? But yeah, you get the idea. But hey, either way, you tell me in 30 days, but better than that, tell me in 300 months. Get a long term. Amen. One of us, one of us, one of us. Again, VIX keeps going up and we have not hit a new low. 5 years, finger to the sky. Let's go. Jayhawk, welcome, baby. You got free lottos. I hope we got a lot of free plays today. A lot better. It was a good end to the week, but again, that caution towards the follow through. That's the only problem. Like right now, even though those last plays, they're ready to go, but we haven't followed through. Even on the follow through, I got a little bit of money, but that's where that little glitch was happening. Happy Kane. Been a good 30 days. Well, good, man. I hope so. And like I've always told you guys, the real benefit of this channel. I know we have good information. I know we get it quickly, and I would love to help. But if you don't get a long term, you're wasting all of your time and money right now. It's crazy. You got to get a long term. That's it. You all have to walk away with something. And again, the younger guys, I really hope you care about your future. You really, really should. Like, care about it more than I do. And you will be rewarded. You should. So yeah, man, that long term, y'all better walk away from this market richer than when you came. And it's possible, but it's a slow process and it takes a lot of emotional control. MO, man, all the staples, XLP and Cigna and a few others, they were running during all of that. NNE now dumping. And then we're still at the low. VIX hit multiple highs. Bro, the lotto plays are just holding a bid still too. Everyone's on ice. This is like a more volatile version of yesterday. You remember yesterday when we were just on ice, just like kind of waiting around here? It feels like that, but you just made a 4-point move in a couple of minutes. But now it's almost been an hour, 15 minutes shy. It's been 45 minutes since that first headline. So I don't know. Sanctions are different than tariffs, but we don't even know. We don't know what Donald's going to say. This was just a little trial balloon. There's going to be a real announcement. Just like every time we get a random rumor about a deal and then a deal happens. And then we get a random rumor about bad news and then bad news. This is a trial balloon. They're talking about it. Somebody's leaking this, but we don't know what it's really going to contain. And then Donald and Elon, yeah, you're moving up. Like I said, staples are climbing. No real follow through, unfortunately. All right, man. Welcome. All my new members, I appreciate you. All my old members, I love you, man. If I haven't banned you either, are you kidding me? That's insanity. That's insanity. I love it. But yeah, time to move on over. Time to move on over. When is stream alerts? I don't know, but I'll tell you this. I have two options. If you give me an off-market house, a lead, I will let you get stream alerts. If you get me a real estate deal. Until I open it up, that's the only way I'm going to let anybody in. Otherwise, I am going to work on a system to reward snitches. So if you find people who claim Chad, but they lying and then they talking shit and then they pump in and put in other places, I will have a snitch reward.